Well, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Tony Vogue, the E-Boy Zombie Slayer, and we're here on my B channel, where I like to do some reactions every once in a while, and it has been a long time. So for anyone that does follow the reactions, and for the one person that demanded that I do some more, thank you very much. You are all the fuel I need to keep going. And we are at part 4 of the incomprehensible, unexplainable iceberg. Let's get it.
Fourth dimension and beyond. Oh boy. If I thought explaining concepts that are hard for people to understand...
By the way, your boy started vaping, man. Cancer is bad. Hopefully vaping don't do anything to me, like give me popcorn lung or something, but let's get back to it.
...was hard before. This is where things get worse. Humans can experience and see, feel, and observe things in 3 dimensions.
That's right.
And there are technically different dimensions and different interpretations of the 4th dimension and beyond. You see, if you draw a line, that's a 1-dimensional shape. Add that to a 2nd dimension by adding a y-axis, you get a 2nd dimension.
Right,
add another axis to that and you get a 3rd. That's a whole 3rd dimension right there. But now the problem with this, though, is you can't add another axis to this 3-dimensional shape without it looking very weird. And there are interpretations of 4-dimensional shapes. Here's one on screen right now. But it's not possible in our given world. Adding an additional axis to these shapes causes them to bend reality as we know it. And yet we can still see and comprehend it in 2D space on a screen, or an interpretation.
I hate terms like that, bend reality. What exactly does it mean to bend reality?
Of it in 3D space. So how do we know it's real? Well, I just showed it to you, so there's that. But people have created tesseracts and other objects and models that recreate what 4-dimensional space would be like. So that's not hard for humans to comprehend, right? Like you're looking at it right now. And the answer is still yes. But there are theoretical 4th, 5th, all the way up to possible 10 different dimensions that humans can't comprehend, past length, width, and height. And if you're smart, you can include time as well. As with the first 3 dimensions.
I don't know, man. I don't think time is a dimension, personally. You know, your boy did a little bit of science here and there.
You can pinpoint an object's location in space, and with time as well, you can find its exact location anywhere. See, this is where the other spin on the 4th dimension comes in. But we can't really see time, can we? No, not technically. You can perceive clocks and even keep time. I almost included a whole additional subject to this video, by the way, about how clocks on different levels of buildings run at different speeds, and clocks in planes going different directions also operate at different speeds, but I didn't, so you get to hear me mention it here instead.
So, clocks going at different speeds on different floors of buildings would have to do with gravity and how far away they are from the center of the Earth's gravity, just like when someone goes to space, they experience time slower. That means they age less.
So time is incredibly hard to perceive as a dimension, as it's kind of weird. But with the dimensions of length, width, height, and time, or longitude, latitude, and altitude, you can pinpoint the exact location of any given object in the entire universe. But didn't I say there are 10? Well, yes. But those are for bigger-brained individuals. The 3-dimensional space that we can perceive is more than enough for the average person, and time is even better. But according to string theorists, there are 10 different dimensions that include and take into account time, and even other...
Oh, wow, we're bouncing back to string theory. Now, string theory is a theory that I believe since World War II, they have been trying to find evidence pointing to it being correct. They haven't yet. I feel bad for poor Michio Kaku, but it is what it is. That's science, my friend, science.
Other universes and worlds.
Care if you want
this
it
is
to
about
be
to get
one
wild,
way or
by
another.
the way. You see, the 4th dimension is time, like I've already mentioned, like probably 5 times. But being able to actually interpret and see time itself through things like general relativity as well as quantum mechanics would open the doors into the higher dimensions. String theorists believe that if we could see into the 5th dimension, we could see a world slightly different from ours, and be able to interpret and measure similar things between our worlds and others and use that information to help us see into the 6th dimension. If we could see into the 6th dimension, we could see a plane of all possible worlds and possible universes. The closer ones in the 6th dimension would be universes and worlds that started with similar trajectories. It would allow us to see into the past as well as into the future through the possible universes.
Damn, yo, that's where I'm trying to go, the 6th dimension.
I would go on, but essentially by the time we hit the 10th dimension, we hit the limits of what humans can even possibly comprehend if we could see that deep, which is everything and nothing at the same time. Every possible timeline, every possible start, every possible end and every single thing in between. There's a reason
That's
I believe as to why
crazy.
we can't see or interpret all these levels of the different dimensions.
Because it would probably explode our feeble minds. Please hit subscribe, drop me a like, and drop me a comment, man. Let's get this B channel some recognition.
As it would drive people
Maybe I'll
wild
make
and
more
mad,
videos
just
less far
understanding and
apart.
seeing this information, let alone being able to comprehend possible beginnings of universes and beyond. But that's luckily not a worry for me, or you on this video, as we seem to have gotten to the bottom of the iceberg finally. We're done. Wait. Why is there still time left in the video? There's nothing deeper than this that we could... Are you telling me that there are even deeper levels to this iceberg? Okay, I guess there is just one last level. But before we get into this next section, I want to say thank you all again for watching this long. And I want to encourage you to go to putinyoursocialsecurity.com.
So this is GRDN.
It's not a scam, I swear. No, really,
the
it's
original
not.
YouTube channel.
It may just entirely seem like a
Check
scam,
it
but I
out.
swear. Also, get your name in the credit. I'd like to see next.
Yeah,
Schedule and
we're
upload
not
more
watching your
often.
ads,
Thank
but-
you again. Below
But
the
thank you.
iceberg. Life. Life is extremely hard to define. As scientists even have a hard time classifying what exactly is life at the simplest of levels. Life to some might be as simple.
Especially with the onset of AI, man. We are quickly needing to define life. And it's tricky. It's tricky.
As classifying when a system reproduces. But there are plenty of men, people, and women.
If it's just when a system reproduces, well, computer viruses, worms, for example.
Nuns and sterile people that can't reproduce, while computer systems could classify as living if that were the case. So is it a system that can move around, create waste, and consume
Slow it
fuel?
down.
If so, then cars classify as alive. You see why this is a little hard to classify?
Oh, hell yeah.
Most definitions include other objects that don't live, and vice versa. Physicist Paul Davies attempts to classify what is life in his book, The Fifth Miracle. He lists attributes of what some constitute as life and why they don't work. In his work, he states, quote, "A living being metabolizes, processing chemicals to gain itself energy. But so does Jupiter's great red eye. It reproduces itself, but mules don't. And bushfires and crystals do. Life is organized complexity, which means it is to be composed of interdependent complex systems such as arteries and legs. In this way, it's rather like a modern car. It grows and develops like Rust does, it contains information and passes information on like a computer virus. Life also shows a combination of permanence and change, evolving and growing through mutation and experience. And for Davies, living beings are autonomous. A 2007 editorial in the journal Nature said the following in regards to life. One might have hopes that such perceptions of a need for a qualitative difference between inert and living matter, such vitality, would have been interred alongside the pre-Darwinism belief that organisms are generated spontaneously from decaying matter. That is the nerdiest sentence I think I've ever read. Scientists who regard themselves as well beyond such beliefs nevertheless bolster them when they attempt to draw up criteria for what constitutes life." End quote. This was written in regards to synthetic biology and the achievements that were being made at the time to
Synthetic
build life.
biology, man, that's where we're at. We've got fembots, and we've got AI fembots. What a world.
Because nowadays we have things like AI. Is AI alive? That's for you, the watcher, to decide. And there's no concrete answer yet. But without classifying life, can we create it? The short answer is yes. Humans and other living creatures do every day. And I want to put this out there. I don't know what I believe in terms of the creation of life and what all it entails. But Nobel Prize-winning Flemish biologist Christian de Duve said it best. Life is either a reproducible, almost commonplace manifestation of matter, given certain conditions, or a miracle. Too many steps are involved to allow for something in between. And I genuinely do think that puts it all into perspective. We've done experiments and put all the parts needed to create life in a flask. Hit it with electricity and the building blocks of life begin to show up. But it hasn't made life.
Yeah,
We've created and gotten
sentience.
excessively close to creating machines that could soon be classified as living. But those were created from parts and systems that aren't really alive quite yet. I'm not here to lecture you or tell you what to think in terms of how life came to be, through either some deity or primordial sea. But I will say that you are something special. as there's nothing like you out there right now. And either way, every single action and reaction in the entire universe has led up to you existing right
Remember
now.
that. Remember that anytime you feel insignificant, man. This was a hell of a way to continue on our journey through the incomprehensible / unexplainable iceberg. This was part 4, and this was part 4A of my reaction. I'm going to be bringing you part 4B much sooner than I brought you this one. Till next time, it's your boy Tony Vogue, the E-Boy Zombie Slayer. Please drop me a comment.